All right, bye. Ready?
Er,
Ready.
Ready. Ready.
He's not ready.
Wait, I thought he wanted that light off.
I think he's doing something.
Is
What's
this
he
his
doing?
intro?
Right? Is he says this it?
Dude, is
I
he about to
mean-
run in here and be like, yo, what's going on, guy?
Right.
This is Ali A here.
Yeah. What's up, YouTube? It's your
Oh,
boy.
no, he just really
back
wanted
and
water.
I'm
hydrated.
ready too. Okay.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Round two.
Yeah.
Fight.
I just lost 13 pounds. I can feel it. All right, ready?
Nice. Cardio.
Were you recording?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I totally would use that at the start.
Welcome to the Feens podcast, episode number 11. It's a pleasure to have you back. My name is Logan, former, whatever you want to call me. I'm here with ZLB. Skrew 9. What's good, boys?
What's good?
What's happening?
Hello.
Catch your
Bro,
breath,
I'm
bro.
still gathering.
Catch your
Okay,
breath.
wait.
Are you okay?
You guys saw in the
Look like
intro
you're
clip.
dying.
You guys saw in the intro clip. I'm way too big to be running downstairs that quick, okay? I need time to recuperate. We got so much to talk about today. How's everybody doing? You guys doing good?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Pretty excellent. I'm like tired, honestly. Like I've been running. Like on the last podcast, I talked about like I went to a wedding or whatever, my friend's wedding, and like ever since I've been back home, like I've been busy. Like whether it be like editing, trying to like record with Z, or doing the podcast, like and then stuff around the house. I've been super busy.
Yeah. We've been
I feel that on a spiritual level.
Right.
Emma and I have been pretty busy the last couple of days. So I haven't been able to record much, but we're back at it. We're ready to go.
Right.
We got a podcast recorded. Well, you guys got a podcast recorded 2 days ago that went up yesterday. Well, this might not be going up. The time slots are going to be definitely weird. Okay?
I was about to
Right.
say, wow.
It's currently the 5th of November, okay? I'm sure it'll be like the 8th or something when this goes out. But, look, dude, it's been so long since I've done this. I'm so, like, not with it. It's going to take me a second. I'm doing good. And we're going to hit the first topic strong. Ready? I know Z and I have similar interests a little bit when it comes to Jonathan David Bellion, the man, the myth, the legend. If you know him, then you're a beautiful person in yourself. Skrew probably doesn't, which makes him not a beautiful person.
Oh, hey, we don't treat other people that don't listen to John Bellion like that, okay?
Yes, we do.
Wow.
All we gotta do is play one song for him, and Skrew will convert, okay?
I will convert.
Okay, so
I mean, I'm anxious to hear.
So let me ask you this, Z. If you could give one song, like if you're introducing Bellion to somebody, what's the one song you play off rip? Go.
Oh, fuck, Dead Man Walking. I love that
Wow.
song.
Really?
I love that. That's my personal favorite.
Okay.
The look you had on your face being put on like the hot seat right there. Like,
It's
you were
probably
serious.
it's because like I have so many favorite songs
They're so good.
from him. Like it's hard. I don't know. It really is. Like I've been listening to him since like SoundCloud days, dude.
Yeah, me
When
too.
he was on SoundCloud is when I like really got into him. So it's been since like high school.
Yeah.
So I've been
Wow.
listening to him for a hot minute, and I would say that easily, Dead Man Walking is probably my favorite. Like when we first went to his concert in Pittsburgh for Stage AE, like this was one like before he was even anywhere remotely big. He was playing on like this like small little inside stage, I guess you could say, like barely filling out the inside part of Stage AE. And like when we went there, like me and the boys, all my high school friends and everything, we like walked in there with like signs that literally said "Play Dead Man Walking" because like my buddy went to a concert or two before we all went of his, and like he never played it, like period, never played it.
He doesn't.
So we were like sitting there, we were trying so hard to get him to play it. At the end of the day, he didn't, but he played my second favorite, which is John Morrison. So.
Jim Morrison.
What? Jim Morrison. Yeah, I don't know why I said John.
John Bellion, Jim Morrison. It works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jim Morrison was the 3 shows I went to. One of them, the
Encore.
the encore for the most latest one was Oh God, the most recent one with Millennium. Good Things Fall Apart. That
Yeah,
was
that one's a
fantastic. But
banger.
the other two, he closed with Jim Morrison for both of them. And every VIP I've been to, I think everybody asks the same question of why doesn't he play Dead Man Walking? It's a pretty funny song. I'm not gonna spoil it. Go listen to it, okay?
It's so good.
John Bellion, Dead Man Walking. I don't want to talk too much more about Bellion. I could literally go on forever. Screw, I'm interested in
Same.
what you listen to. Artists,
Man,
genres, hit me.
So that's the thing. Like I'm one of those people. Like I like, especially with music, it's phases, and it kind of, and it's the phases I go through with music is kind of like decided by like what it is I'm doing. Like right now, I'm really into like lo-fi, and like there's a little bit of metal I've gotten into like lately. Like it's just a mix, but it's all stuff that I've been able to like play on stream. That's because I'm streaming and I'm gaming all the time. But before, so if I had like my preference, it's like rock just in general. Like you can give me like all different kinds of it, and like I could probably vibe with it. But Tool is up there, like on the high on my list. Like I, of
I
course, I
totally
love like
see it.
right. Like I like the Metallicas. You know what I'm saying? I like
You look like a Nickelback fan.
no, not a Nickelback guy.
That happens
Like
like
I'm not good.
What about
I can't like.
what about Five Finger Death Punch?
I'm not a huge no.
That's
Not a
more
huge
on the
Five
heavy
Finger Death Punch
side,
guy.
or
Right.
rather than rock. So I totally can see as to why you wouldn't
Right.
feel
There's
that way.
some there's
But
some, don't get me wrong, like I like, it's just weird, like the type of heavy stuff, or like this niche stuff that I like, because I wouldn't say that I like real heavy stuff, but I've listened to like Slipknot pretty like
oh, I fucking love
consistently there
Slipknot.
for a little while. Um I mean, I don't know. It really all depends with me, man. Like I grew up listening to country. Like I've got my my fair share of like rap that I like some stuff that probably nobody's like heard of. That just sounds
Who?
hardcore.
Ooh,
Yeah, huh?
hipster,
Who?
hipster.
Yeah,
Who?
yeah.
What kind of rap? I'm intrigued because that's where I dabble.
Ill
Okay, I
mind
mean, so
Hobson.
like new stuff, of course. I've fallen off with Drake lately. But of course Drake was like a go-to in like my high school years. You know what I mean? Like
Uh,
from 2009, I'm aging myself right now, to like 2015, bro. He was hitting bangers. Uh, what is this? Trying to think of the guy's name. No, yeah, you hit me with that music, I won't be able to think of nothing. But Brother Lynch, Brother Lynch. Yeah, there you go.
Copyright.
There you go.
I played it for less than 3 seconds. I think that's what the thing is,
Remember
right?
when it was
Yeah, it's
25?
something like that.
What?
Right, back in the good old days.
There was a point in time where it was 25, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Sad times.
I personally have been on a musical journey, I guess you could say. Like when I was younger, of course, I grew up with like two older sisters because my brother was already out of the house. So of course, like me growing up, I listened to freaking like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and all that shit.
Oh, that new kids on the
Um,
block.
yeah,
Mhm.
yep, all
Yeah.
sorts of different stuff. My mom was a huge Meatloaf fan. I don't know if you guys know who Meatloaf
Hell
is.
yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm a plug real quick. Emma put me on to the first time I've ever seen Rocky Horror Picture. Is that what it's called?
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's what it's called. And
Is that
Meatloaf
what
is
it's
in
called?
it, and it's funny seeing him in
Yeah.
something other than the music industry. But yeah, no, I know who Meatloaf is. I always made fun
Yeah.
of his name, and I think Emma and I were talking about him a little while back. I think I called him Meatball on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like my mom, she always was listening to that when we were on like our car rides and shit. So like growing up off of that and then having my stepdad that was like super into AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, all that stuff. So I listened to that until I got into into high school. When I went into high school, I was more so like it was weird. Like to my seventh grade to probably 11th grade, I was no, maybe 10th grade. I was listening to like Avenged Sevenfold, Five Finger Death Punch. Um, oh geez, who else? There was a whole Disturbed a lot, Slipknot, Hailstorm, stuff like that. I actually went to a concert that was like literally Metalhead Central. I'm not even joking. Like I went in there and it was just like stages. Like, have you guys ever been to Geneva Lake? The amusement park?
No.
No? Okay.
me.
Well, it's just like a pretty standard amusement park, and they like completely converted it to this metal concert, and it was absolutely nuts. That was when I first saw Avenged Sevenfold live, and that was like right after they dropped their Nightmare album, which happened like right after their lead drummer passed away and everything. That was a crazy concert. And then after that, when I went from like 11th grade till until I graduated with college, I was pretty much listening to a lot of alternative. So like Glass Animals, um, the Mowgli's, stuff like that. And then now it's just like I have such a weird, weird playlist. It's insane. Like
Yeah.
I got TikTok songs on there. I got alternative. I got tons of rap on there. Like literally no shit. Like I have so many different rap artists that I have found. Um, Actually, speaking of which, Logan, you might like. There is a guy who is on TikTok. His name is Aiden347, or maybe it's 347 Aiden. I can never remember because it's like the opposite on TikTok as it is to Spotify.
Uh-huh.
But like this shit's good. And not only that, but you can play it on your stream without getting copyrighted because he already cleared it because he's not with any publisher.
Can you compare it to anybody?
Not off the top of my head. It's really different.
I like that.
Yeah.
I was hoping to hear somebody compare it to, so I can kind of get a like a what to expect, but like in turn not having someone to compare it to is kind of a good thing. Yeah,
he's a vibe.
No, so like you guys talk about like how it kind of progresses on like through your life, like your music interests kind of change depending on like who you're interacting with at the time or like what you're going through.
Mhm.
Skrew was talking about like your situational, like like what you feel like listening to at the time. When I was growing up, my father was a huge Jimmy Buffett fan. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but like, so I was listening to like everything Buffett related, and then he stopped listening for a while, and I just kind of like, I like every album. That's when I like finally started like that's when I first downloaded Pandora. So I had like everything at the tip of my hand.
Pandora.
Yeah, dude, Pandora.
Yeah.
When that was
Pandora.
a thing, it still is. But who the no?
Pandora Premium, anyone?
Yeah.
Want a break from the ads? Is that a Spotify thing? No, that's Pandora.
Nah.
No, that's Pandora.
Okay.
And Spotify. It's on both.
Oh, really?
It's pretty much the exact same thing. Yeah.
All right. Well, I was listening to a bunch of Jimmy Buffett to the point where I like kind of like memorized all of it. And then he had Alan Jackson for a little bit. He had a song with Alan Jackson, 5 O'Clock Somewhere. It's like a really popular song. So that got me a little tiny bit into country for like very early middle school, right? And it was a very quick process. In the city I grew up in, it was like everyone there listened to rap and hip hop. So I wasn't a fan at first, but like once you start listening to it over and over and over, and all your friends are like, "This is great, this is great, this is great," you kind of start to find yourself interested in certain artists because you break into the genre yourself to learn more about it, and then you're like, "Oh, this artist does this too. I like him more than the ones they listen to." And it just kind of evolved from there. That's how I found Logic. Logic was huge. He retired now. Sad times. But Logic's one of my biggest people. And then Logic, I was a fan of Logic early on. And he did something with Bellion, and that's how I got introduced to Bellion through Welcome to Forever. And I was listening to that, and then from there it just kind of Bellion my whole, like literally from the day I found him, I've been like, I don't think there's, man, it's crazy because I listen to Bellion literally every single day. I can't remember the last time I didn't. I cannot remember the last day I didn't play at least one Bellion song a day. I don't. And then Bellion found me Visionary Music Group, who's a record label who has Quinn 92. I don't know if you guys know who that is. Maybe not. He's kind of unknown, but very, very, very good artist. And then it's just kind of everything Visionary related, or like anything like Logic Rebellion. I listen to a lot of Post Malone too. I don't know when
I love Post.
I don't remember when I picked up Post Malone, but I have a very big Post
I
Malone.
mean, the same way everyone else did. You heard that fucking song. You
heard White Iverson. That was the song.
In high school.
Literally everybody had White Iverson on their YouTube channels. They didn't give a shit if they were demonetized. They literally played that shit when it came out. It was they didn't care.
But see, I recall when I first heard that, like I didn't like it. I really didn't. It has grown on me now that when it comes on, I like it, I enjoy it. But like at the time, it was not my interest. I was like, what? I don't know. So I don't know what it was that actually made me interested in him.
Yeah, when he came out with Congratulations, though, like I
That's
hated
what
that
caught
song.
my
I
that caught my
hated
ear.
that
I
song.
like that. I saw him like playing it at like he was at some party or something. There was like a mariachi band there, and they
Yeah,
broke it out and like started singing or whatever. Like I was like, I like that song, and then I actually like listened
Yeah.
to it.
I
But I honestly,
actually
I like the mariachi version better
the
too.
mariachi version is
They were
fire, but the
like
other one's
it was just
trash.
cool seeing that video. They were having like he was obviously having a really good time. You know.
I've never seen it or heard it. Is that bad?
It's pretty. Yeah,
It was
no,
all
no.
over
I mean, it's
Twitter a
just one of
while
those.
ago, but
Yeah,
It's
it's
good.
just one of
yeah,
those little clips.
it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
really
really
good.
good.
I like
It's
the
only like
mariachi
45
version.
I'ma look at
seconds
it.
or something like
I'm
that.
gonna look
You know,
into
like
it.
the clip that I'm talking about. But
Yep.
I think as we were talking about, I remembered. I think the way I got into Post Malone was I was going through that. I think every kid in high school has this like depression stage, not like crazy depression, like, but like
mhm.
I fall apart. I'm pretty sure that's what
Yeah,
got me on. I was like, okay, I can
yeah,
relate now, and then it
I
was like
remember
I
that.
got
Yeah,
happy, and his happy songs are like, yeah, I don't know, it just stuck ever since then. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, no. So as we go through life, music changes, music interests change. This is a segue and a half. Life progression, okay, is another one of the things I
Very
want to
nice.
talk about. Bro, I just moved out. Like
For the first time ever.
yes,
Oof.
Em and I moved in together.
That's big.
Eh,
That's big.
That's dude. It's so like my whole life I was looking at it like, oh, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. Like it's not that big of a process, right? And then my
Yeah,
parents like, it's a huge step. I'm like, I don't know, but I was always the kid that like don't stress about anything. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
yeah.
Like everything will just kind of fall
Yeah,
into place. So when I had to like take the initiative and take that big leap, it was like, oh shit, it's a lot
yeah.
going on. Got to get my bearings down. I don't know.
Right, right. Those bills don't just fall into place.
That's
Like,
what I'm
you know what I
saying.
mean? Yeah, yeah. You got to
Finding
make sure those things get paid and whatnot. But
find
yeah,
yeah,
the little stuff.
finding a comfortable place that you can like actually make it, because there's a difference between like there's a difference between getting a house and living in it than getting a house to make a home. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
Like you
sure.
gotta
yeah.
make like I'm trying to make this place as cozy as I can. Like before we started recording, I see this white wall in the thing. I'm like, that's an issue. I need something there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to make it as cozy as possible. We got pictures up, places. You know what I mean? Emma's still in college, so not a lot of her stuff is here, but you know, eventually, and when it is, it'll feel more like our place. Um,
Right.
I don't know. It was a very big step. Like I'm not trying to stress anybody out if you're a younger person watching this. It's like it's fun, it's exciting, it's cool, it's great, but you need to have a plan for it. Don't let it sneak up on you like it did me, because that makes the whole process so much
It makes
harder.
it 20 times worse.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, I can speak from
Yes.
experience. So during college, like my first two, I think 2.5 years of college, like I was staying in the dorms, and like the freshman dorm, if you were out of state college student, you had to stay in the freshman dorm. Once you got out of that, like you had the opportunity to go and like stay in an apartment complex or whatever, like off campus, or you can stay in the like DSA, which is what it was called. It was like the high living apartments of DSA for our college and everything.
Mhm.
It ain't shit. It ain't shit.
I don't.
Um,
So
you gotta what?
Emma has this like swanky dorm room. They have like a little living room, a little kitchen too. Like, but I feel like it doesn't
Yeah,
matter
no,
how.
that's exactly what I
I
had.
feel like in my opinion, it doesn't matter how how much you glorify it. It's still gonna be a college dorm room at the end
Yeah.
of the day, and I
So
can't get with it.
the nice thing is that we had like a half kitchen kind of thing with like your living room, and then we had like a hallway, and we had two separate bathrooms, and there was four bedrooms for like all of the people. So two people that were living in the two bedrooms on the one side of the hallway would share a bathroom, and so on and so forth. So it was really nice because like we were in downtown Columbus, so you like would wake up in the morning and you would walk down, or like you would walk over towards like your window, and there's like the whole skyline of Columbus depending on what building you lived on, like what side of the building you lived on. It was super nice, super fucking expensive for no reason. When I say it's super expensive, I think it was like $1,600 a month or something like that. Yeah, it was nuts, bro. But the thing is,
Damn.
the way that they get you is that it was built into your tuition for like housing and living.
Hmm.
So if you stayed in camp or on campus, then I'm pretty sure you got a discount on your like food. Um,
They-
so yeah, that was the way that they
That was the
persuaded people.
caveat.
And I'm not gonna
Wow.
lie, for me, it made sense because like I'm like, oh shit, you know, like I got friends that live there, but like all of my friends that lived there lived like in Columbus or like close enough to where they commuted from like their family's house or whatever, you know. So like I lived there for like the longest time. But like once I finally went to go and live with somebody else, it was one of my really good friends. Her name's Hannah, and it was like her boyfriend at the time. His name was Brandon, and I was like living with him. Um, and dude, that shit hit me like a fucking truck that had no brakes, like just straight up hit me because I was working over the summer and everything. And he's like, dude, we need to like get moving on this the whole like moving process. And I was like, what do you mean? Like we still got like, you know, a month before school starts. And he's like, yeah, but they need the deposit, and then we also have to set up all of this other stuff. And like I wasn't prepared for that, you know. Like I was prepared for like the housing deposit and everything, but I wasn't ready for like how they do billing. Like when you first open an account on something, like you have to do a setup fee and all of that. In most places, at least in Ohio, they would just like literally be like, you got to pay this up front before we go and do it. It wasn't like oh, it'll just be tacked on to your first bill. And so like that was like hard learning, hard learning for sure for me. And then like ever since then, I've pretty much always been in an apartment. I think Em and I have lived in 3 different apartments together. Um, one being with one of our best friends from Columbus, and then the other 2 like on our own
How long have you guys
here in
been together?
Pittsburgh. Em and I have been together for almost 5 years. Yeah, it's like 4.5 to 5,
Damn,
almost.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
and we've
wild.
been living together for 2.5, 3 years. How long? No, 3 years. Yeah,
That's wild.
Nice.
yeah.
Emma and I are coming up on a year soon this
Huh?
month.
Wow.
Yeah. The way that I gauge the how long we've been living together is because Luna and Smudges are 3.
Ah,
So
Gotcha. Yeah.
so I
There you
got
go.
when I got Smudges is our cat. He was just we like found him in a like a truck hood, like in the middle of or in like the middle of winter. One of our friends walked out from work, and it wasn't winter. It was cold. It was not August, was it?
August is
Okay,
still
maybe
it's
it
still
wasn't
like low
cold. But
key cold.
either way, he was in a car engine, and our friend walked out from work and like heard meowing under the hood and everything. Got him and all that, but she already had 2 cats, so she had to get rid of them.
Ah,
So Em sent me like her tweet about him, and I was like, yeah, I don't think we're ready for that because like at that point in time, Em was still living with her parents in New Jersey,
mm.
because she graduated from college and then went back to New Jersey to work in Manhattan, for a little bit. And like I was like, oh yeah, I don't think I'm ready. And immediately that same day, I went and told her that I was like, yeah, I want him.
Did
And
you
so
do
then
it?
I like
Did you do it
I
as a surprise?
surprised, yeah, I
Ah,
surprised her with
Nice.
him for like her birthday. So he was
Nice.
like living with me for about like what, a month.
damn.
Yeah,
So you had to hide it for a month.
pretty much, yeah.
You guys both have Apple products, I assume. I don't know of anybody that does.
At that point in time, we did.
So you're FaceTiming, right? I assume, and you had to like.
Yeah, dude, it was hard as shit.
Yeah.
It was hard as shit. Like whenever she would FaceTime me during that time, I had to like go and kick him out of the room and like close the door and pray to God that he didn't give like
He
his
didn't
little
start
tiny
meowing.
screams. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And it didn't help that my roommate at the time, he had a husky. Her name was Sobaka, and like Smudges when he was a little kitten always wanted to like mess around with Sobaka. So he would like go and stick his feet underneath the door and like kind of do this whole thing, like come on, come at me kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was yeah, he still does that now, but yeah. I don't know how I got onto this
Nice.
whole tangent. I'm all over the place, but
Bro,
it's okay.
life progression. Life
Yeah.
progression at its finest. Skrew, what's the scoop, bro? Hit me. I know you're thinking something.
I mean, man, like y'all, honestly, I got sidetracked by my pets, but like, or I was got like, or y'all made me start thinking about mine. But no, you started talking about like all the things that come with like getting your own place, and like how big of a step it like seems like that first time you do it. Of course, like me, like I'm 29. I've done it. I've done it a few times. Um, but like that first time, like, dude. I can't. I think it was like the gas that held me up. Like I gave it like 3 weeks or something. I needed to be into a place, and I go to get this apartment. And they're like, okay, well, you first of all you got to sign this. That this has to be approved by so and so, and like then you have to like make sure the electric and the gas is set up and all of that stuff. And I ended up getting into this place like with. Like 2 days to spare or something, so I had to get all my stuff moved and packed and moved in less than 48 hours. So yeah,
Oh,
that taught me my lesson early
yeah.
on. Like so ever since then I'm like you plan everything ahead. But
Approaching
I've
it
gotten super good at packing. Yeah.
approaching it without a plan is difficult. Is difficult.
It is. It
So
is, man. It
yeah,
is.
Emma and I had like a plan to look for a place, but it was always like it wasn't a joke, but I think you know what I mean, right? It wasn't ever like
Yeah, no,
we're
no, it
getting
was
It's one of
never
those
close.
like
things you just talk
it was
about.
I don't
never
know, like when
expected,
you're in a
but you like
relationship
joked
and you're
around.
with, yeah, you're like, all right, we're moving in together. At some point, it's gonna happen, and then like we were
Mm,
joking. It felt like 1 week we were joking about it. That like 2 weeks later, we like jokingly started
it's
looking for a
happening.
place just to look, just like fantasize about, like you know what I mean, like we
Mm,
could live here together. This place is gorgeous, and then we found one, and then it was like maybe we could do this, and that one didn't work out, and then my mother found one, and she's like, look at this place, and then it was within literally 48 hours after my mother found it that we were moving in.
She was like,
nice.
she's like, "Hey Logan, look at this. Now
And
get the
I,
Check
fuck
this
out of my
out.
well,
house."
Let's
no, 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 no.
get
Okay,
out of here.
so my mother, there was a point in time where my mother sat me down after I had like made the decision. Right, she sat me down. She's like, like you don't have to like stay here,
Mm,
save money, do what you need to do, and then go on from there. And
right.
honestly, yes, I think I'll say I probably could have benefited. Not probably. I 100% could have benefited from that. But there was something
Mm,
about the fact of living with Emma that was just like I don't want to wait anymore. Let's go. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah,
It was awesome. It was
no, I
great.
got you.
So it
Yeah,
Go
I
was
got
for
like
it.
you.
You know.
it was like a joke plan. 24 hours to make a plan in the house, and it was like
Yeah.
not
Now we're
really.
here.
It's kind of a plan, but it's not. Like you gotta have like
Right.
everything set up, and then like Skrew was talking about like bills, dude.
Mm,
It's not
Bills are nuts.
it's not the size of the bills. I mean, some of them, depending on like how you live and like your lifestyle, can be bigger. But like, it's not the
right.
size; it's the responsibility and like I don't know, like to think you need to pay like water, electric, you know what I mean, gas. Screw said it's just like there's a lot
Yeah.
that you need to be thinking about at all times because one little slip up may damage your credit
Yeah,
or put you in a situation where you like you know what I mean, you're in an iffy state of mind, and it's just like
Bro,
there's so
those
much.
reminders on your phone are gonna save your
yeah,
ass. Okay,
yep,
so you got a calendar, right? You go to that
yeah,
calendar. The shit needs it's due on the third. You click on the first. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
yeah.
that's when you pay it. You pay that shit early.
That's
You don't ever let it slip by.
Yeah.
That's the
Em
way.
and I
Like
learned
my
that
phone
pretty
has
early
saved my
too.
ass so many times. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that is due tomorrow. You know?
Emma just
Yeah.
Shared Google Drive calendars
Wow.
saves your ass, bro.
Wow.
Emma
Y'all are
and
like the super couple.
Emma brought home a whiteboard, so we're gonna have a whiteboard in our kitchen. Something
Oh,
about
we
There
have
you
one
go.
too. Yeah.
something about physically seeing it in front of me. I know the online things and like the things on your phone. Obviously they help, but there's something about like I can't walk out the door without looking at this whiteboard.
Right. It's right
So
there.
you know what I mean. I like that idea better. Also, like
Now,
Yeah.
here's
complete
my next question: Are you living in a house
a
that
row
you
home,
rent, or a what?
a row home. So it's a house, yeah, but it's like inner city. Like you know how like it's one big house, but they're split down the middle. This one's one color, this one's the other color. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's that.
So like, so
Gotcha.
okay, so you have like a whole house that you're
Yeah,
renting,
upstairs,
and
downstairs,
obviously
basement,
you
attic.
have a landlord
Yeah.
and all that. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering because like when I first got my job here in Pittsburgh and everything, like Em and we had, I want to say, like a week and a half to find a place
Mm.
to move into. Um and so maybe it was a little longer than that, but like we came down here, we went and looked at places during the day and everything. Em actually had a job interview for her last job that she had and everything. Like we were looking at all that, and like there was a couple that we had on our list, and dude, it was like the weirdest shit. Like we would go in there and they'd be like, "Oh, here's this whole house, and like the rent's at this price," and we're like, "Wow, why is it so cheap?" And they're like, "Oh, because you need to buy a stove and put it in, and you need to buy a washer and dryer and put it in."
We
And I
love
was sitting there, I was like, "Wait, I have to put a stove and washer and dryer in here?"
and that's so
And then
common.
that means
People
like
don't know that. Like that's common.
that's what I'm saying. And like, and I think the reason why it was like that for me, why it was like so shocking and everything, was because like prior to that, Em and I lived in apartment complexes where like
Hmm.
we got to go and list like the amenities and stuff that we wanted. So like we literally would go on to like apartment.com or whatever apartmentlist.com or whatever and be like, okay, I want a apartment with a in-unit washer and dryer, and I want air conditioning, and it needs to be pet friendly. And boom, there you go. There's my list that I'm looking for, and I'm looking across the entire area of Columbus or Pittsburgh or wherever. And then you would go and like look at them, and they'd be like, "Oh, okay, this looks exactly the same as the other 5 that I just fucking toured like 2 days ago." And then you would just settle for it because an apartment complex. You're in an apartment complex. You're around people. You're gonna, there's nothing that you can do.
Yeah.
And then when Em and I moved here, we moved into a full house that had 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and all of this other stuff, like full basement and all that. Um, Super expensive. Uh, Coming from apartment living life to house rental life is drastically different because usually with like the apartment rental, like they kind of built in certain amenities, except for like
Yeah, it's
obviously your
all
electric or
included.
whatever. Yeah, and not only that, but the places that we lived prior to, like they didn't have gas in them. They only had
Hmm. It's
electric
all
and then like
electric.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we moved into that place and we learned the hard way that gas bills get up to like $200 and it's like fuck.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially in the winter.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, especially when it's like an older house that somebody like goes and remodels, but like doesn't put insulation in the wall to like replace the
Hmm.
bad insulation.
Yeah, all that fun adult stuff you get to
Yeah.
learn. You get to learn
Yep.
about insulation and yeah, just how much gas
Yeah.
costs. And oh yeah, it's a fun life.
The
It's good stuff.
biggest
It's good stuff.
the, the biggest thing when it
It's
comes to
worth
that,
it.
guys, is if you are going and looking for a house to rent, when you go and before you even sign the lease, you can call gas companies, especially if there's only one in the area that everyone has to go and sign up for. You can call that place and ask them, "Hey, how much was last year's around this time, around winter or whatever, like how much on average was this person paying for that house?" And they will tell you. So that is something that you can go and do if you're one of the people that are like me that are like, "Oh, okay, well,
That's
I've
actually
been
a
bitten
hot
the
tip.
ass."
That's a
Yeah, I've
great
been
idea.
bitten the ass by it. So, like why not, going forward
Yeah,
if I'm going and moving into a house, like figure that out prior to.
Facts.
Um, so
that's
yeah.
really smart. Yeah,
Life tips with the stream fiends.
Yeah, dude.
right, right.
Life tips with the stream fiends number 2. If life is a piece of shit, just keep moving because it gets better
Step on
eventually.
that shit.
Yeah,
Keep walking. There's new shoes.
Dude, no,
just
dead
keep
ass.
walking, bro.
Dead ass, bro. Like my last 2 years, like they have been absolute shit, but like in order to like cope with like how bad everything's been, I've just been streaming, creating content and everything. And I mean, just kicking ass at my actual like day-to-day job and like it helps improve your mental state like tenfold. If I was
Right.
sitting here and not doing that stuff and like only living my day-to-day life where I'm like, going and walking the dog and stuff like that, not staying motivated and on top of things, like, dude, I would be a completely different person. I
Facts.
Yeah,
really
you
would. I
lose it.
probably
Lose
wouldn't
your
even be
edge.
in the creation field
Facts.
anymore
Right.
either. You
Gotta
know?
stay sharp.
Yeah.
I don't have a segue for this one. So jump cut, right? And then with this one we can segue into Screw's topics, and then we'll go from there. Competitive gaming.
Yeah.
Okay. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 had a battle royale blackout that I absolutely fell in love with, and a buddy of mine told me to download it again the other day. Right. Loved it. So I competed in that. You can't see the third jersey, but there's 3 jerseys here. Literally all of them for different teams for blackout. They're dope. Okay. Fuck it. Blackout was my everything, and I'm sitting here yesterday scrolling through.
I saw your sad boy hour tweet.
Oh man, dude! Scrolling through hours and hours of clips, just skimming through them. What did my tweet say? I don't remember what it said.
it was something about I miss like the old tourney days of Black Ops or Blackout
I got
or something along
I
those
got it right
lines.
here. I've been sat here watching old clips from when I competed in Blackout for the past 30 minutes. I missed the intensity, the adrenaline, the teammates, setting up with 5 water bottles knowing I wasn't going to move for the next 3 hours. Tournaments. Hearing teammates call outs, all of it. Bro, the thought of it just like, oh man, I want it so bad. Like, I wish I could rewind and just do it all over again, bro. It sucks knowing that
Yeah.
that game is like gone. Like, no
Yeah.
one's going to compete in it anymore. Time to find a new one and maybe compete in that. But nothing has touched me like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, like, I feel like everybody that plays video games wants to play at that level. Like, if you play Rocket League and don't have even a little bit of, I'd love to play it on main stage RLCS, you're lying.
Dude,
Mhm.
I have such a competitive nature for fucking Rocket League. You don't even understand.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
Okay,
I
so
literally for a meme, M comes into my channel when I'm playing Rocket League just to say, "Hey, you suck at Rocket League," and dude, it flames me. I get so mad
Okay,
like
so,
every single
so put
time.
yourself in the situation. Would you not love? Think about it, right? Just like NRG ZLB or whatever it is, You know what I'm saying? Just NRG. You're just
Yeah.
there, main stage. Like, oh
Chilling.
man, dude, I'm watching clips of it on YouTube every now and then. It's just like, dude, I wish.
Dude, you say that, and we have Genesix who's fucking playing with Rapid from KC Pioneers,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Like
Well,
he was dead
designed-
ass playing with them earlier. He was
He-
literally, I was watching his stream. He was playing with Rapid, and he
Yeah.
just like
he-
they play other games too on top of it. Like they
His-
don't only just play Rocket League. Like they were playing some scary horror game.
He designs for Kansas City Pioneers. So
Yeah, I
has
know
all
he
those little
does, but dude,
connections through
that's
group chats and
nuts.
shit.
That's
It's
nuts,
crazy.
bro.
It's crazy. It's crazy
Oh,
to think
yeah.
like they're going against Space Station and NRG.
Yeah.
And all these people that
Going
are
back
watching
to
play.
it, the grind never
Bro,
stops,
it's crazy.
boys.
Listen,
Right.
listen. I've known this jersey here. This one. You can't see the logo on it. It's Orbit. Okay. I met Genesix in Orbit. Okay. Genesix competed with me in Blackout. I never knew he designed when we started talking. Never knew it.
Damn,
Never
full
knew it.
circle, bro.
Exactly. So I was playing with him on Blackout, and then one day I saw a design on I think it was on his Twitter. I was like, "Who made that?" I was like, "That's gorgeous. I want one." He's like, "I made it." I was like, "Huh?" So we got into that. He made me some stuff. I was like, "Oh my god, that's beautiful." And then he started designing for Orbit, stuff like that, thumbnails for at the time Orbit videos. That's a story for another podcast. It's just, dude, and then I found out he designed, and then we lost touch for a little bit, and then I got back into it. We were playing again, Rocket League and other games here and there, Black Ops 4, stuff like that. But yeah, no, Genesix it's crazy to think. I don't know if you remember, back when Fortnite was popping, right? Avery, do you guys know who Avery is? FaZe Avery?
I know the name.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I played with Avery before he even had like 1,000 followers on Twitch. Like,
Nice.
Avery and I were
That's
tight.
cool.
Avery was best friends with the leader of Orbit and then introduced me. So
Ah.
I knew Avery, and then months later I'm seeing him with 10,000 viewers on Twitch with the name FaZe in front of it. It's like, bro, what the
That's
hell?
crazy.
Yeah.
It's like
Crazy.
the people you play with every day and get on and play with and
Yeah.
talk to. I didn't play with Avery every day, but it's just like extreme. Like I was in multiple Discord calls and Skype calls with him. And it's just like
Right.
months later, he's FaZe Avery. Probably has connections that I can only dream of having. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy
Yeah.
shit. And then
Yeah,
Genesix, for
it's
example,
crazy.
with Kansas City Pioneers playing with Rapid,
Yeah.
who we watch on main stage RLCS. It's just, dude, it's wild.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever competed in anything? I don't mean like main
I
huge
used to.
tournaments, but like
I used to. Back in the good old day of like Modern Warfare 2, all of the Black Ops and everything.
Mm.
Like before I technically was supposed to be playing those games, you know what I'm saying? I was doing like GB
oh
battle,
my God,
like
game battles. Oh,
yeah, I was competing in those, and actually, I think it was my junior or maybe senior year of high school was the first time that I ever had to pay for Xbox Gold. Like I had so many fucking cards from tournaments. I got so many, like I had literally like 3 copies of the like pretty much every COD leading up until like the like more recent ones. I think Black Ops 4 was the first one that I didn't have multiple copies. I would just give them to like my friends and stuff, but yeah. Like I used to compete on that all the time. I used to be really, really good at COD, and then I stopped playing. What game came out that I stopped playing?
Black Ops 3 was the turning point for a lot. Like the end of Black Ops 3.
Yeah, I think it was when Black Ops 4 came out. I kind of like dropped off the end of Call of Duty just because I wasn't a huge fan of Black Ops 4.
I
I
wasn't
was
either
I was into
of like
I was
multiplayer.
into Black Ops 3 a little bit. But it was definitely like on the downturn of me. Like I think for me the reason why Call of Duty hasn't been like in my most recent games like flipped between is purely just because of like the advanced movement. Like I've never been a fan of advanced movement in any game.
Hmm.
Period. I mean, like sliding, that's fine, but the whole or like dolphin diving and stuff, like that's fine. Sliding, not okay with,
Yeah.
unless they do it like how it is in like Battlefield and stuff. Like that is like more, I guess, realistic to me. Like I don't like the reason why I like COD is because it was like a balance between like being fast paced and like action packed and stuff to being like a little bit like more on the competitive end. Now you got people that are ADS spamming and slide hopping around corners and all that shit. And it's like, bro, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm sure I could do it if I put the hours in, but like, I don't feel like putting the hours in anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Not only
games
that,
like
but I
if
don't
you
have
want to
time.
compete,
Yeah.
yeah, if you want to even compete in like pubs, you've got to go like you've got to get so extra with it.
Yeah.
Like Fortnite's like a great example of that. I know a lot of people, I don't play. I played Fortnite for a while. I know a lot of people don't mess with it, but like that's still just a great example. Like you can't like a new player to that game. Good luck having fun. Good luck winning. Like outside of like some, they've just fill your lobby full of bots because like the player base is just stupid good. Like everybody's at this crazy competitive level, whether
Yeah.
it be on console or PC or whatever.
Like
For whatever
3
reason, it just
seconds.
cultivated such a competitive like environment.
Yeah. In
But
order.
I've done game battles myself.
Yeah.
Like I that was my first introduction like to like playing for money. I haven't competed in any like
Well,
competitions. I've like participated in Discord, so but
when game battles came out, like, dude, everybody was on game battles.
Everybody was
You
competing.
could put a post up and get a response in 4
Yeah.
seconds, and it was like, all right,
Right.
here we go, like a new match. I miss that.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
it was always kind of like this, but it's more so nowadays. To compete or play anything on a competitive level, you need to give it okay. To compete and play successfully on a competitive level,
Mhm.
you need to give it your everything because of how far gaming and streaming has come. Like everybody wants it. Everybody.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
No,
like you
literally.
can't blame them.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
who doesn't fucking want
That's what
that?
I'm
Yeah,
saying,
like
yeah.
those guys that are really out there going after it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
he wants it. Yep.
I would give anything to just grind games all
Mm.
fucking day long, dude. Like
I
like
miss it. Like I don't know
I
about you guys, but that like summer of like 9th grade.
oh
Mm.
dude,
Dude, that's all it was.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Like I was the dude. So I played varsity soccer
Mhm.
for my high school. Like we were state champs 3 years out of the 4 years that I was in varsity. Like I was in varsity since my freshman year. Like all that other shit.
Yeah.
So it was intense, balancing between that and like we had IB. I don't know if you guys know what that is, International Baccalaureate. It's like higher than the honors society. What's the what's like for public schools? What's the
Well, like
the highest level?
Well, like honor roll.
Yeah, but there's like something that's above honors. Like there's usually like
Oh, AP.
CP,
AP.
AP. Yeah, so it's like IB is just above AP.
Okay.
So international baccalaureate, like when I was graduating and everything, you had to go and do tests and stuff and like write essays and all that shit and then like send them overseas for them to be graded in like France and shit like that. And then like you got ranked out of I think it was 7 points, maybe 10 points, depending on what it was that you were doing. And then they would send it back and all that stuff. So I was balancing all of that plus playing soccer on like a high team level, like high intensity level, plus doing like art shit and everything in order to get my portfolio prepared for college and everything. But yet I tell you what, every single hour that I had where I wasn't doing something that was related to that, I was grinding.
Dude.
Like I'm telling you, like those days where I stayed home sick from school or whatever, bro. Like
Mhm.
my mom would be like, "You're sick. You should be staying in your bed, laying down and getting rest and getting better." I'd be like, "Fuck no. I'm staying here and I'm
This is
playing
rest.
video games. Like this
Yeah.
is rest for me."
So
Yeah.
funny. Dude, count your blessings. Like if you're a young kid watching this, if you're in middle school or like early high school and you're like you're at the
Dude,
I remember
imagine.
there's a short time. It was like 14 and 15 years old, where you want to hang out with friends, but you don't have money because you're not old enough for a job yet. There's not much for you to do other than hang out with friends and stuff like that. It's like, dude, if you like video games and you don't have a job, I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking for myself, but like, I wish I could rewind. So just, love what you have and realize what you have, because
Yeah, appreciate the things that you like are there and that you have right now.
like our Modern Warfare 2 and my Blackout are things I'll never get back again. Like, it will never be a thing again. So that game that you love right now, hold on to it, man. It's like cringy and corny as that sounds, dog. It's not gonna last forever.
I would literally give anything for when Call of Duty, like the new Call of Duty, comes out, for me to just be able to spend like 5 days in a row just playing it. Like,
dude,
anything
Nonstop.
Oh, I used to.
No
I mean,
water
like,
breaks, no nothing.
I had friends that would take off school. Like, they would literally call in sick on the days that the games came out. But I never did it because I was never allowed to. 'Cause my mom was a hard ass on that. But
I skipped school on the release day of every single Call of Duty. Every single one.
I wish I could. I wish I could.
My father just, for lack of a better term, didn't care. So I took full advantage of it. And every single Call of Duty, I was not there. I went to the midnight release, didn't go to sleep, played until the next night, probably was late for school, got my aunt to pick me up for an early dismissal on the next day after so I could go home and play more. And it, dude, oh man, it's terrible. Go to school. It's not that important, but damn it, man.
Unless you're trying to grind, dude. Do what you got to do to grind, bro. That was Former's grinding moment, dude. That made Former though.
Bro, I'm telling you. Skrew, what do you got for us, brother? Hit me.
All right. So I guess we could segue from professional gaming there, pro gaming, to some of this other stuff like Companion Cube is something I wanted to talk about, which is a projector. One of the main reasons like serious gamers never like approached a projector as like a viable option for gaming is because you get like 30 frames, like no matter what game you're playing or what you're running it off of, like you just got no good frames. Well, this thing that's coming out, the Companion Cube, promises 120 hertz. Like, so that's 120 hertz refresh rate on a projector of your, you know what I mean? So a screen of your size, you can put it on the side of your house. You're getting you're getting that refresh rate on Tarkov. You ain't missing nothing. Which I thought was really interesting. I imagine that you're just like chilling outside.
Dude, I'd love to play Tarkov in a movie theater. Think about it. Sitting back row, surround sound all around you, dude. Oh my god,
dude. I'm telling you right now, all right, the day that we meet up, we're gonna all pitch in to buy one of those projectors, and we are just gonna sit there and fucking game outside.
Game our asses. Yeah, right.
We've joked about it. If Stream Feens House ever becomes a legitimate thing, right, dude? Just
easy.
Set up like a drive-in in the backyard,
who needs a living room?
But instead it's like a gaming thing.
He said, "Who needs a living room, bitch?"
Dude.
I'm in my room 25/8.
Right, then what do you mean? This is where I live. Exactly. Like, it's the same thing. Yeah.
That's so funny.
But no, I thought that would be like super interesting. I mean, like, so back whenever this idea like first came, or I say idea, of course, projectors have been around for a long time. But like, as far as using it like for video games, like whenever I was into games, like there was no hooking up anything other than like school related things to a projector. That's all I had ever heard of.
Yeah.
You're dating yourself.
Yeah, hey man, it'd be like that. It's just facts, dude.
He had one of those little overhead projectors with the glass.
Yeah, exactly.
With the little transparency things.
Yeah,
exactly. That was the extent.
That's it.
I can't say shit. That was around when I was in middle school. So,
but yeah,
now all these kids got the fucking smart boards.
Yeah. Oh, dude. But imagine having those things. Imagine. Yeah.
You can't really use it for gaming, but yeah.
I mean, give me like 20 minutes with it. I bet I'll get I get Among Us on there or something, you know?
There's Skrew circling the wires and it fucking like makes him go into the task and he's drawing with the marker to get it to go.
Yeah, make it work, dude. Make it work.
That's so funny.
But yeah, in other tech news, that's really all I've got today that I wanted to talk about with some of this tech stuff I found interesting. So MSI, which is a subsidiary of like, it's GeForce RTX, all that stuff. They're the ones who obviously came out with that new 3090 graphics card, 3090, 3080, several other ones. But of course, the one that's all in the news is the 3080 and 3090s. Um, we're not really going to go into like detail as far as like how they perform and stuff. C and I kind of touched out on that on like the last podcast, but something I found since then, you guys may have like heard about in the news with these graphics cards is that a whole bunch of bots went through, and as soon as they released, like everything was bought up by bots. And some of like the consumer, some of us started thinking that MSI, one of MSI subsidiaries, Starlit Partners is the name of them. They like stockpile MSI graphics cards, and it's supposed to just be stuff meant for like later resale. They're not supposed to be getting any of like the new products like fresh off the presses, so to speak. But one of these subsidiaries managed to like bot order like 12 total of these graphics cards, and they ended up selling like four on eBay or whatever for and price gouged the shit out of them. I think like one at 15,000 was one of the highest ones.
Wait, did you just say 15 grand?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Bro, those graphics are okay. Don't get me wrong. Like the graphics card, like the performance on that shit is about to be litty titty. But
Right.
dude, they're $1,500 to buy them. You're telling me somebody paid 15 grand for
This
one?
is what it's saying. So it looks like that's what
Dude, they
this
even
article I'm
said,
looking at.
oh my
That is
god,
some of those price gouging, and that's not even
Woo.
them. Those are just the graphics cards that this subsidiary, Starlit, which is essentially like what it's looking like if you were here to read this whole article. It's essentially it's looking like one kind of like rogue employee making a little more off top than they were supposed to be, within the subsidiary Starlit partners. But yeah, so that's the thing. Like, while this one, one of these sold for some crazy amount, that's just one. Like I said, these guys sold like four themselves on eBay. That's not to mention all those thousands of graphics cards that those bots like purchased as soon as they came out. There's a lot of those that still haven't sold, and they price gouged for weeks, for like a solid 3 weeks, and they were moving. Like you could see the graphics card moving. No, I didn't personally see any for 15 grand, but I mean they were pushing 3 and 4 all over the place. Yeah, and moving. It was crazy.
Well,
But so one of the biggest things, like there was a whole lot of backlash. Like people seemed to be really irritated with MSI for obvious reasons, because it seemed like they were trying to like buy their own product and then like mark it up. But as it turns out, so the bots bought thousands, or hundreds of graphics cards that I know of for sure. And this subsidiary that everybody was mad at, as far as MSI goes, like got like 10 and actually sold like four. So what they didn't have like as big of an impact. Like the company was looking really shady. When I heard about this and looked into it, it was because I was like, wow, for y'all really trying to do this in front of like right under everybody's nose. But turns out it wasn't as like brazen as all that. It was just kind of some probably low paid employee saw like a way to make some money
an
and
opportunity,
capitalize.
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
if you're rich, okay, that makes me think, right? Like, what if you had like stupid money, okay, and a product like that drops, and you're able to buy all of them, brother? Why is it like I guess what Skrew said, like it just happened, but why is it not happening more? I'm glad it's not. Don't get me wrong, it would be terrible.
Because there's
but-
law. It's like it's
It's supposed to be
price
regulated.
gouging. Yeah, there's some of that stuff that is regulated, and then like if the stuff is not meant to be bought and resold, like by the seller or whatever. Like I think they have some say of how their product is, like whether it can be redistributed or you have to be like a licensed seller and yada yada yada. But I mean that's not to say like it's capitalism, man. People
Even-
do that stuff all the time.
Even in that same regard though, like you were talking about, like how somebody could, like who's really really wealthy would just go and buy it and resell it. Like, to put it into perspective, powergpu.com, they are somebody that I follow on Twitter, and I usually utilize a lot of their tweets for tech advice, because they know their shit. To put it in perspective, they make PCs that I think they just got done making a PC not too long ago for Tim the Tatman. I'm pretty sure they made one for Tim Tatman.
Yeah, I
they
think
made
I
one
heard
for
about that,
Cloak
actually.
C. So there's a couple of them that, like, that he's a trusted source, but he was only able to get his hands on, I think, like 6.
Damn.
And so it was just first come first serve. Whoever bought a PC from him that had that in it, then he would make it for him. But he pretty much said like, "Hey, I only got a couple. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go and up the price or anything. But hey, if you want, like, I'm not gonna just sell the Like I'm not selling the GPU by itself. Like
Right.
you have to buy the full rig kind of thing."
Yeah, the whole deal.
But and I mean, like, there's tons of different people that are doing that. There's another like pro PC builder. I can't remember the name of him right now, but he just got done making a bunch of rigs for like NBA players and NFL players and stuff like that.
I remember
And like they were all requesting them too. And he straight up was like, "Dude, I literally can't."
Can't
He
get 'em.
made one for Metro Boomin literally like not that long ago. I think Metro got a 3090 in it. But that was because he was like one of the ones that was like put his like shit in like way forever ago and was like, "Hey, I want this whenever this drops. I'm gonna pay it forward right now before it even comes out." So then you got the money and everything. Just give me one.
Right.
Like it's insane. Like I completely understand why, because like don't get me wrong, if I had the choice between going and getting that 3090 for 1500 when I know that like next year, obviously you never know what's coming out next year. Like maybe the 3090 is where they cap out for a couple years, you know what I mean? Like at that same point
It
in
seems
time,
like
like
a
it's
big breakthrough.
yeah, it seems like they're just going to keep like getting more and more expensive. So like if you can get that one where, it can literally run pretty much anything period that you wanted to
Mhm.
run, like why not go for it? You know what I mean? If
That's
you
pretty
had
much
the
how I've
opportunity.
approached all of my tech purchases, or like at least in like my adulthood, like
Yeah.
that's when I've had time to like think about it. Like, while yes, like, you get like so I wouldn't want to buy like a 3090 right now. I would want to buy a 3090 like 6 months from now, whenever
Yeah.
like they're roughly, maybe they've gone down a little bit, but most definitely any like little issues like heating paste, this needs to be any of those little things that might be wrong with it. You know what I mean? You give it enough time for like all of those things, like anything that need to be recalled, essentially, like any of that stuff, like let that kind of get hashed out. Let them get like the little things figured out, overheating or whatever, and then I would buy one. You buy like the biggest, baddest thing they got at the time that will do any and everything that you want to be done, and maybe just a little bit more, and then you give it like three
Yeah.
years. Before you make another purchase like that,
Exactly.
whether that be your phone or your computer, your graphics card, whatever. It's mostly just tech. Just get the biggest, baddest thing you can, so you can stay caught up for as long as you can. Because if you mess around and get something that's 2 years old, then you're gonna be 5 years behind by the time you go to
Yeah.
make another purchase.
That's exactly where I'm at. Like when I got my 1070 Ti, it was right when the 2070s came out. So they dropped in price. But like at that time, other than going and getting the 2070, which I wasn't in a financial position to like even do that or warrant it, I just went with the 1070. And so far, like I mean, I do 3D work. Like I make gaming assets. Like I do motion graphics too. I game on it. Like I stream on it. Like I game and stream
Right,
on it at
does
the
it
same
all.
time. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I've never
same.
had any issues with it. So like once I start seeing those things where it starts like generally wearing down a little bit, like I think that's
Mhm.
like the point in time in which I would go and like actually look into going and getting one.
Right.
But that who knows how
Not
long
not
that'll
until
be.
it shows.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, not until your low workload starts to show, or
exactly.
that starts to slow you down with its lack of performance. Yeah,
And
it's a
not only
smart way to
that,
do
but
it.
then you also were talking about oh geez. Wow, I just lost my train of thought. I think okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's
not only
retract
that,
for
but
a
you were
second.
talking about
Yeah, see that didn't help me. I think that actually made me lose it even more.
no.
Nice.
No, damn. Oh, we were talking about how like, how it like literally just came out and everything. Like right before that came out, the 2070 or whatever the latest one before the 30 series that came out didn't come out that long ago. And we
Right,
were
the
talking
2080
about how
supers.
like yeah, and how we were talking about like the 30 series is extremely like it is a breakthrough in technology when it comes to GPU. Who knows what the hell is going to be next, dude? Like the
Right.
40 series, the 40 series could be twice the same, or like twice the 3090s. We don't know. And who knows?
Right.
Maybe they only go up by a couple $100 because they're like, okay, well, if we can go and double this now, like, and only go up a little bit, who knows what next year we can do? Maybe next year we can quadruple it, and then
Right.
boom, look at that, and that it's just how basic economics work, I guess. I don't know.
Right,
I
right.
feel
And
like I'm all
tech
over the
in
place.
general. No, yeah, I mean, you're making a great point. I mean, especially when it comes to like tech and tech purchases, man, like that's the truth. Like you can do your best to stay up on it. But pretty much the day after you make that tech purchase, whether it be graphics card or cell phone, it's gonna be out of date. It's like driving a car off the lot. It loses its value because there's newer and better like that, yeah, like the day after you buy that
Instantly.
cell phone, like they're if they haven't put out another one, they're like 10 days away from putting out another one. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna be behind. So it's just, it's a question of like how, is it worth for you, to go ahead and spend the extra money for the extra capability or luxury or whatever that may be, or is it not? And you just stick with what you got until it is worth it, or until
Yeah.
that thing that you're after becomes a little more affordable.
Amen.
Big heard. And I guess going based off of that, like how like everything changes, yada yada. I'm gonna bring some game updates to you guys. I think
Nice,
that was
nice,
like the
nice.
best way that I could segue.
Good.
I have no idea.
Good.
I mean,
If
that's
it
pretty
worked,
good.
tell us.
Changes, updates.
Updates,
If
changes.
it worked,
we just hit.
tell us in the comments.
Right.
tell,
Yeah,
tell me
yeah, let
whether or
us
not
know.
that was a good one or not. But anyway,
we just hit an hour, so take your time. You're chilling. You got a good bit to talk.
oh, we just hit an hour.
Just
Oh,
now,
fuck.
so we're vibing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got
Nice.
some time.
That's
Cool.
what I mean. Don't rush. Don't feel rushed.
All right.
I could sense you kept looking down. I didn't know if you were looking at the clock or not.
Oh no, I'm like literally just looking around at my monitors, to be
I thought you
honest.
kept going.
I keep getting a notification down over there because of my other Discord, so it like pops up right there, and I'm like, what is that? What is that?
Oh. No, you're fine. I didn't want you to feel rushed. How about it, dude?
No. All right. So we got some different changes that are coming pretty soon here to games. To start off, Among Us has taken literally the gaming industry by storm. I'm pretty sure we can all agree that we've played it at least once, and I
Yeah,
know
those
that
are
we played it
facts.
at least once because we have a video that's going to be coming out soon for you guys.
Hey,
Soon.
Hey,
Check it out.
And so pretty much with that, like, even though I'm going to be talking about like the game updates that are coming, there is something that can like kind of bounce back to one of our earlier conversations that we had, Skrew. Like it was a while ago. It was when we were talking with Mod, and essentially we were talking about how, a lot of these gaming companies will go and mimic and make copycats of other games.
Right.
And you know how we were like, how long is it going to take until there's a Tarkov copycat or an Among Us copycat, because they're taking the
Right.
world by storm right now? Sure
Right.
enough, while I was looking for updates on games and everything, there is a Chinese developer. I have literally no idea how to say the name, and also the name of the game was in Chinese, so I don't even know how to say that either.
Gotcha.
But it is an exact knockoff of Among Us. They've sold 600,000 copies of the game already.
Dude, China don't
And
give a fuck.
it literally has only been out for I think 2 days now, and they've already doubled the 600,000. By the way,
He said, "Dude,
Nice.
China don't give a fuck."
dude,
they
don't.
dude. China don't give a fuck.
That's
It's
just
like
so
we're
funny.
over here. We like your shit too.
So-
Fuck
so
y'all.
I'm
said that
dead
was so
serious.
funny.
I'm dead serious. If you look at it, it literally looks like they took the sprites. So if anybody that doesn't know what that means, sprites are like the character sheets for their characters, like the running animations that they make. So that's what a sprite is when you have the full running animation or walk cycle or whatever as like its own little character. They literally took that and just like added different clothes to it. It has the general
Nice.
overall shape. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
And the
Wow.
other thing is it's set in like medieval times. So you're in a medieval castle instead of on a spaceship. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
They
don't
just reskinned it with dungeon stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
Chains
Yeah.
and cauldrons.
Yeah, instead of you having Star Trek, you have Dungeons.
I mean,
and
how much does it
Dragons.
cost? Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. I literally have zero idea. Like I said, it popped up on my my GameSpot notification feed when I was looking through stuff.
Right.
Didn't
Speaking of which, you guys should be looking at GameSpot because it has some great updates when it comes to gaming on there.
it really
So.
does.
didn't oh god. Okay, so I know there's people that are like, China, Japan, they're different, but like I'm not trying to butcher this. So I'm so unbelievably sorry if I offend somebody. Didn't China also make a like a Call of Duty? Wasn't that a thing like a couple years ago? You guys
No,
remember
that was Japan, I believe, if I remember
that?
correctly.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Do you
positive it
remember
was
that
Japan.
though? That was like everywhere,
Yeah.
dude. I couldn't scroll through Twitter without seeing it every other 3 posts. It was like Call of. I don't even know. I don't remember if it was Call of Duty or not. It might have even been published by Activision or whoever it was at the time.
I
But
do I know what you're talking about though.
yeah. So they kind of did the same
Like it
thing
was
there.
yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I don't know.
I
I
mean,
mean, it happens all over the place.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
like
it really
that's
does.
whenever the China don't give a fuck thing, like that's really just like because China like all over the place. Just as far as like I'll say it. I mean, I don't know if it's specifically the U.S., but I mean, just it seems like they just don't really care as far as like other people's copyrights go, or at least there's not any like regulation as far as that, like whether it be music, intellectual property,
Fair.
all of those things. But that's China aside, like that's just kind of a coincidence that happens all over the place. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, for sure.
so you guys remember the race, like, and I don't- forgive me if I say one like out of order, but like, so there was PUBG, there was
Yeah,
Fortnite,
that's what
there
I was
was
just about to
the
say.
black, all of these betas,
The Battle
like
Royale
Apex
games.
came out,
Yeah.
battle royales, like they just, I mean, all of them essentially.
Popped up.
I mean, there was like three in the beginning that really kind of played off of each other, but
PUBG, DayZ.
It was DayZ first, then PUBG.
Oh yeah, DayZ,
yeah,
PUBG,
and then I think Fortnite came in
and
after
then
that.
Fortnite. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Fortnite
Yeah.
was the biggest rip from like everybody, you know what I mean? And that's
Oh,
facts. Like Apex came around and like they kind of took a little bit and like they kind of, I don't know if it was just kind of like a little poke at Epic or what, but so what did they take? It wasn't respawns. I mean, maybe it was a style of looting or like a crate or something. It wasn't anything crazy. But then, as soon as they did that, Fortnite was like, "Oh, for real? Well, now we got a ping system. Now we've got respawn vans. Now, like,
yeah.
they just took like 4 or 5 different things that were blatantly straight from Apex,
So
and
you know what's
yeah,
really
just did it."
funny? What's really funny about the whole Fortnite conversation?
Mhm.
Uh, so the game itself has been in production for a very, very long time from Epic
Yeah.
Games. The Battle Royale only took them a couple months to make because they were making their game, which was Save the World, which if you
Mhm.
bought the game while it was in beta, you got access to playing Save the World or whatever the heck it was called.
Yeah.
They saw how much PUBG and DayZ developers were getting and how much it was taking off from making the Battle Royale that they literally stopped production on their main game and went and was like full gear. All right, let's do it. Let's go into Battle Royale to go and make this money so we can finish our game
Yeah.
Yo,
and get it going. And if they didn't, then who knows what games we would have? Who knows if we would have Apex? And the
Right.
good thing about it is that like both of these companies are competing head and head. So like each of them are trying to make their game better and better.
facts.
So like
Mhm.
now you got a bunch of updates that are coming out rather than, games like Tarkov, for
Right. Free
instance, where
content.
they take forever.
Mhm.
Game developers like
Yeah.
never ever stop a project for anything, and to say that they did that
Mhm.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
But they did. Like, I bet you they're glad they did. But it's
Oh,
like,
100%.
it's crazy. Well, because okay, so the BR made for like Fortnite would have. Fortnite Save the World might have popped off. Maybe I doubt it, but maybe.
Yeah.
Eh,
but it had been
But
out.
hard to
You know,
say.
like a
Even if
version
it
of it
did.
had been out.
Exactly. Even if it did, it would have not done anything that Fortnite would have done.
Yeah.
So,
We wouldn't be talking about Fortnite
or
like
that the
the
Battle
you
Royale would have
word.
done.
Yeah, we wouldn't even be talking about it. That wouldn't
Well,
be in our.
if you look at it, Save the World was essentially just like a third person over the shoulder version of Balloons Tower Defense.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever played it or not, but
Oh,
that's
yeah,
literally
No.
what it was.
yeah,
It was
in,
like a very much a horde aspect kind of game where
in-
you're building up your
Mhm.
defense in order to try and make it to the end of the round or
In
whatever.
school, dog.
Right.
You're supposed to be paying attention. I'm playing that on the laptop instead. Yeah, dude.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, dude.
It's not really not my turn of topics, but now while we're on the topic of updates, really quick.
Yeah,
We
no,
don't,
go
even,
for
we
it.
don't even have to delve into this. Vigor. I know some of you that are
Let's go.
fans of Stream Fiends are also fans
I'm
of Vigor.
excited.
Seeing as how many people from Stream Fiends came from Vigor. Vigor's getting an update. Night maps. I don't even know where to begin. There's a lot. It's a big update coming. I'm not gonna dive deep into it. Next episode we'll talk about it because it'll be closer to the date.
Isn't
Nice.
the night map update wasn't it super anticipated because all of the people that play Vigor want night maps
Oh yeah,
since
so
day one?
people have been talking about
Okay.
night maps since.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I think it was when they added snowy maps. When they added battery drug was always a map, but then they added battery snowed, and they're like, oh, snowy version of a map, and then it was night
Well, where's
version.
the
Where's
night
it at?
version?
Yes, and then it was every map they found themselves this map would look good. This map would look good. This map would look good. So keep asking, and we got. So clutch up. As a Vigor partner, I felt like I had to.
Yeah, for sure.
Throw it out.
For sure. I was actually anxious to hear about it. I'm pretty stoked. Pretty stoked for the new update, and I didn't know a whole lot of details, so that's cool.
Yeah. Maybe I just thought about it. Maybe we could do Stream Feens videos where I take over the video and I go on the test server of Vigor and show the shit that's not released yet. Maybe.
Are you able to?
Yeah.
Oh, you're allowed to.
Oh, okay. So there's some things I can't show, but I can show almost all of it.
Okay. Well, maybe you should figure that out.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Be pretty sweet.
That'd be very cool.
Maybe
Exclusive.
I'll see what I'll talk to
Do what you can do, huh? Talk to your people.
I'll talk to Dev.
Talk to your people. I'll talk to my
I'll
people.
talk to my people. We'll get them to talk to each other, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Ba-ba-da-boopy. You know what I'm saying?
Nailed it, bro. Nailed it. Wow.
Oh,
That
God.
was accurate.
Z, you got any other updates for us, brother?
What the fuck was that?
Ba-ba-da-boop.
Okay. Anyway, going back to developer talk and patch notes and everything. Among Us will be dropping a patch pretty soon here. I'm sure that a lot of you guys have already played it because if you go and enable the beta setting on Steam, if you have the desktop or PC version of Among Us, you have the option to go and switch over into beta mode. When you switch over into beta mode, there's a couple things that they're messing around with and everything. But as of what is being confirmed to come to Among Us sooner rather than later is that they're adding player accounts, player reporting, and a new map. So obviously, at least within GameSpot, they didn't really go and talk too much about what we're looking for when it comes to the map. And I'm sure that that's a lot of what everyone wants to see is mostly the map. Because let's be real, player account, I guess it's kind of cool to really get to be able to really track your stuff, because even though they have it, I don't feel like it's that great as of right now.
When you think about a player account, you mean stat tracking and shit?
So they do have the stat tracking and everything, but I think what they mean by the player account is that they're making it to where your player account, you could do it either mobile or on PC and it carries over.
Okay.
So you link accounts.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
with that, then you also have a friends list now. So you can go and add people and it gets rid of that room code bullshit that I hate so much.
That you have to put your cam over in the middle. It's the worst thing.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
You have to,
No, it is the
completely
worst.
reformat your stream.
Yeah. So they're getting rid of that. I'm pretty positive. I'm not absolutely 100% because, like I said, it doesn't go too deep into it because they only commented on it as of to. I don't think that's right. I think they updated it today at 7:30 because I saw this last night before I was falling asleep. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, so they'll be able to track the progress and also create friends lists. And then they also said it's going to be bare bones at first, but then they'll improve it down the road and all that other happy stuff. So the new map that's coming out is, let's see.
Does it give a name?
It says, according to the Steam update, it's Henry Stickmin themed. I don't even know what Henry Stickmin
Stickmin
means.
themed. I want to know.
Yeah. And it will be bigger than Polis. The map will be totally free and will come with different tasks for players to complete. There's no further information available, but it's good to know that it's coming. So.
Okay, so I'm looking at Henry Stickmin. It's quite literally just like a stick. It's quite literally just like a Stickman.
Interesting.
It's pronounced Stickman. It's pronounced Stickman.
Right, but I'm just saying it's a stick man.
No, it's Stickman.
It's-
It's with an I.
It's a stick.
He's
Man,
hang
so,
on, chat. Yeah.
So, oh man, wait, did you say bigger than Polis?
Yes, it will be bigger than Polis. Is apparently something that has been confirmed. That's
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
one
I don't
big
know.
map.
I don't know. I feel like that might make it too easy for imposters. I mean, unless I would support making it a 15-player lobby, maybe.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would 100% see that. Like if that became a thing, that would make dude the streams on Fridays, that would make it so much easier, man.
Dude, anybody that pops in is like, can I play? Yes, you can. Come on in, buddy.
Yeah, come on in, buddy.
Yeah, no, I would support it. I'm surprised they already don't have like when you set up a host. I'm surprised they don't have a limit on how many people you can have in anyway.
What do you mean?
Because you could set up imposters, like you could set like 4 or 5 imposters.
I thought it capped out at 3.
It might, okay, yeah, it might be 3, but even given 3, I'm surprised, seeing as you can change the
That you
number of
can't have
imposters, that
12.
I can't be like 15
That you can't have
player max
12 or
lobby or
15.
20 player max lobby. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah, no,
there's-
that's fair.
There's mods and things. Like I've seen like videos and stuff on YouTube of people like doing these 99 player lobbies. Like
That would be insane,
oh, it's
dude.
crazy.
Wow.
I don't think I would be able to. I wouldn't feel secure going and killing
Imagine
it.
this- yeah.
So you can.
Wow.
I saw a video where you could set up no kill cooldown. They set up no kill cooldown
Wow.
with 99 players, so they're quite literally just rapidly click and kill, and it would bunch kill. So if there were like 3 people standing together, like very close, it would kill all of them in one click.
Jesus.
Dude, like,
Jesus.
to me, I think that's kind of cool. Like I'd play it for fun, but
Oh my god.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that sounds cool.
yes sir.
Okay. Well, that's one thing to look forward to. And as we were talking about earlier, the new Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Wow, it has such a long name.
better than
Is going to be
Recycle
coming out
Green.
soon. It's going to be coming out soon. And
The
to be
13th.
more specific, it's coming out November 13th. So GameSpot, I don't know how the heck they did it. I don't know if it. I have a feeling it happens to be with anybody that like pre-ordered the game on like Xbox and stuff. They're gonna like they kind of have like an idea roughly about how much space it's gonna take up and so on and so forth. But I do have some of like the preloading details of the game and everything. So what you guys can expect when it comes to your given console or the PC or whatever, wherever you expect to go and play this game. I have some more details for you when it comes to that. So if you are a PlayStation 4 user, preloading will be available on November 5th, so tonight at midnight. And for let's see. Xbox One, it's also available today at midnight. Preloading will be available on November 10th at 1 p.m. for PC. Next generation consoles, obviously, it depends on the launch date of the console. So for the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S, I think. Is that right? Are those the new consoles
X
for
and S.
Xbox? Is it
Xbox
X and
Series
S?
X? I
Yes.
think it's
Okay.
Xbox
So
Series X.
on November 10th, when you get your console, if if you're not a pleb like me and actually get your console on that day, you can go and install it, preload it, should I say, and then for PlayStation 5 on November 12th when that releases. So as for file sizes, this is the part where I am so happy. And the reason being is because for me right now, I would say a solid 20% of my hard drive on my Xbox is solely dedicated to Modern Warfare.
Me too.
Because Modern Warfare, I don't know how many of you guys actually have it, but it is like 200 gigabytes, if not more.
Dude, it's stupid, and like every update is its own like. Yes.
Exactly. It's its own like 100 gigabyte
So
download.
annoying, dude.
So for file sizes as of right now, when you can go and preload the game and everything, for PlayStation 4, it's going to be 95 gigabytes. For Xbox One, it's going to be 93 gigabytes. For PC, it's 35 gigabytes for multiplayer only, 82 gigabytes for the full game, and 125 gigabytes full game on ultra graphics. So hey, if you are one of the lucky people that got the 3090, then you can go and download that 125 gigabyte full game on Ultra. I'm sure you'll be
Yeah,
able to run
yeah.
it perfectly fine. Otherwise, I don't know how well you'll do.
Yeah.
Um, for the PlayStation 5, it's 133 gigabytes, and for the Xbox Series X and S, it's 136 gigabytes. So as of right now, I know when the game first came out, it was roughly about the same spot, give or take, right? It was somewhere around the 100 gigabyte range,
Yep.
I want to say. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, like they're not really improving too much, other than the fact that they're going to be on the new consoles and you're going to get higher FPS and better graphics in general. If you're on the new consoles, if you're on the PC, well, I don't know what to tell you because you're in the exact same boat that you were last year. Other than the fact that Cold War is going to be a really good game, as far as I can
Right.
tell. Which kind of like brings me into my next thing. I don't know. Did either of you guys go and play the beta at all?
I didn't, but
I never did.
I'll make a statement if that's what you're looking for. I'm
Okay.
saddened that Warzone is being recycled.
Warzone is being recycled?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
It is yes.
Okay.
Cold War's Battle Royale is Warzone.
Gotcha. Now, when you say it's recycled, are you saying it's recycled in the sense that they're literally taking the state that Warzone is in now and going and putting it directly in,
No.
or just the name?
No. I'm saying it's Warzone. It's Warzone.
The multiplayer, man.
They
Or the-
quite. I'm like
They
worked-
literally took
They
Warzone and put
literally
it into
took
Warzone.
Warzone and put it in. Like no copy paste, no like we changed this. Nothing is changed. Same everything. They just
Gotcha.
put it in the next game. Not a fan.
So now
Yeah.
I'm confused. Maybe they're gonna do some type of update, like you know how like Fortnite has like those major events that change the map.
Maybe,
Do you think that that's
I-
gonna happen and it's just gonna like go and set back or something?
Something
That would be
needs to
kind of
happen.
cool.
Something needs to
That'd be
happen.
kind of cool.
But because I'm just
Yeah.
like I don't do.
They'd have to do something.
Something needs to happen because
I mean, they could just hit it with a bomb. Like, I mean, you know, like
Literally,
that's what
Cold War,
Fortnite always
all
does.
about.
It's just like, oh, this thing like blew. Yeah, this thing over here blew up. Now the map's different. It's like, all right, hey, cool. Now we got a new map. You know, it's as simple as that. Like, really, all they have to. I mean, I say as simple as that. Like, they have to design and program and do all that stuff. But I mean, it's not like they're not making enough money, and it's not like their fan base wouldn't appreciate it. Like, you know, it would definitely be worth coming up with something besides that old map.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know.
Something needs to happen because I'm like genuinely like, damn. Another.
Yeah.
Now I can't.
There's a lot of
3
people are
years
still
ago.
into it though.
I
Is the
know,
thing, you know, like,
dude.
yeah,
I
we're kind
can't
of quiet.
imagine that they're gonna keep it the exact same when it comes to actual like gameplay and game feel. The reason why I say that is because right before the beta launched for the play weekend on the Xbox, I went back and installed the new update for Modern Warfare so then I could go and play it and compare it to the beta because I wanted to see exactly what it is that I'm going to be getting if I go and get Cold War. All right. So I went back and I played Modern Warfare and then I went to Cold War. And Cold War is significantly slower paced.
Good.
Significantly. Like it is. It's in a good state though. It's not like I don't want to say it's like going really, really slow or anything. Like it's in a very good spot. It feels really, really nice. The movement and everything, I am a huge fan of. I know I'm probably not going to have the exact same opinions as a lot of other people because there's a lot of people that enjoy Warzone. I personally do not. There's a lot of people that thought that Modern Warfare was the best COD that's come out to date. I am definitely not one of those people. But you know, to each their own.
We will agree
What?
to disagree with whoever that is. I promise.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like, I'm happy that they're going back to where they're minimalizing the idea of advanced movement. Yes, they still have the sliding. And yes, right now, as of the stance of the beta, the slide, the distance in which your player can actually cover distance wise when sliding, it feels unnatural. And I say that because like when you go into your slide animation, you're making it at least a solid like 6 feet worth of slide distance, and immediately your character stands up. I think that would be okay if they made it to where when you go and slide, the further you slide or whatever, there's more of a chance for you to immediately go prone or something. But then at the same time, if they did that, then I can imagine that people would be abusing that system.
The slide to me is so. I don't know. I don't like the slide.
See,
And
this that's
let me back myself with this statement. I don't like the slide because A, it gets abused,
yes.
right?
No, I agree.
B, I'll use an example, right? We'll go Black Ops 3 had a slide. There was a Nuketown map at Black Ops 3, right? Middle of the street, you could slide 5 feet. You go outside, full sprint, and try and slide on Macadam, and let me know how far you get.
Exactly.
And I don't need Call of Duty to be real, because there was never a point in time where Call of Duty was a realistic war game. I understand that.
Yeah.
But dog, to be full speed busting around a corner on your knees is not okay, in my opinion. I don't know.
No, so you're going and touching like for me, what makes a game, okay? So the way that a game is played, I don't give a shit if it's realistic. I know that there's a lot of people that care for that realistic or realism or whatever you want to say.
Well, I don't want to give off the effect that like I need Call of Duty to be real either, because I love that it's
No,
not.
yeah, no, I know what you mean though, but what I was gonna go and say is that like it comes down to whether or not the game is playable in the state. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like for me,
realistic or not.
yeah, for me, like there are things that are built into games in order to be like kind of closer to the realism feel and kind of closer to like, like making the game stand out from the past generations or whatever. For me, I totally agree where you're coming from when it comes to the sliding mechanic because in Modern Warfare, the reason why I don't like the multiplayer is I feel like it is too easy to get shot a couple times and immediately slide out of danger and run away. And I feel like for whatever reason, the nature of video games when it comes to first person shooters, as of right now, as of recent, within the past 3 years, it has very, 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 very strongly been influenced by this runaway movement, whatever the hell you want to call it. Like, that's the reason why I liked Apex so much season 1, is because like it felt like it was in a good stance when it came to engaging on another enemy team. There was still places for you to go and hide and duck and cover and everything, but no one was running away from the battle. Everybody was like going in and trying to like outbeat the other player or whatever. Like there's a completely different stance between going and tactically repositioning or going and full on running away. And I feel like that is where the game is going towards, is more of the runaway feature rather than the tactical reposition. Because when I was playing the beta, there were multiple times where I shot up somebody with like an MP5 or something. They were literally a sliver of health, maybe like one shot away from death. And they would go and slide, jump, and cover behind like some wall or something and just immediately run away. Yep. And like as a playable game, that is extremely frustrating to have that kind of feature in it. And like I know that I'm not like the only person, but I also know that there's a lot of people that are on the opposite spectrum where they enjoy that kind of play, where it's more of like a chase and catch kind of game rather than a like face-to-face combat kind of thing.
You just start playing chess with the game mechanics after a while. Like really, yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, like I think there's pros and cons to both of those things. Like the movement, you guys had like a strong issue with like COD. I wouldn't say I had so much I'm more of a boots on the ground kind of guy. I don't like jetpacks, all of that.
Yeah, same.
But I can't. It's mainly because like I just wasn't into that kind of movement. I know plenty of people that were and that were really good at it, and that would make make elite plays with it. You can like it looks cool. You can see like the complete the intelligence required to to make that play or make that movement. Like I get it, but yeah, like what you're saying is like the balance. And again, I guess it's all down to the gamer. Like I'm like you. I want more of a balance. I want that like quote unquote like realistic. I don't want people to be able to like just ADS run away from me or whatever, like jiggling like left to right and sliding and jumping. And then on the other hand, it's like whenever I'm getting shot at and I just get lasered because all I can do is go prone, or you know what I mean, or whatever it is. Like there's that kind of comes back to like the playability of things. Like it's frustrating when they get away from you, but then like I said, it's just playing chess with game mechanics. Whenever a game starts adding stuff like that, but I guess that's down to the devs though to find that balance between like playability mechanics and like realism. I don't know. That's probably a whole podcast in and of itself. Like the struggle to maintain, for a
1000%.
game.
Word.
Yeah.
All right. You want to wrap
All
it?
right, and then yeah, to wrap it up, I do have all of the games that are coming out in November 2020 for you guys. So if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is dropping on November 10th. Obviously, if you're getting the PS5, it's not going to be until November 12th because the PS5 doesn't come out till then. Dirt 5, I don't know how many of you guys are actually interested in Dirt 5. I personally don't think that I've ever been invested in a Dirt game, but there's a lot of people that were super excited when it came to the Xbox conference.
Yeah.
I'm curious, did either of you guys play Dirt 5,
Nope.
period?
I mean, I played one of the Dirt games back on like Xbox for a little
Well,
bit.
I've
It was
played
like
one,
on
but-
Game Pass or something.
Yeah.
It was a fun game. Like it was really detailed. I liked it. I'm interested to see what this is all about. Honestly, like how
Yeah.
much detail they put into like the landscape and stuff. Because they put a whole lot of detail into like the driving and how the driving in the game felt. Like you could tell playing it 30 seconds. But like the actual like the courses and stuff and just the way dirt flew off your tire, it wasn't very like visually
It wasn't
stunning.
there just yet.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's coming out November 10th, November 12th if
Nice.
you're a PS5 player. Then you got Bug Snacks, which is a PS4, PS5, and PC only. Which for whatever reason, Twitter blew up when this game was announced. I don't know if you guys were
Not
seeing
me,
any
dog.
of
I didn't
that.
see anything about that.
Mm-mm.
Pug
Oh
snacks?
my
You're telling me I'm
goodness.
not gonna be able to feed a pug? Bummer, dude. Come on, dog.
No,
Wow.
Bug.
Bug.
B-U-G.
Oh,
Bug snacks.
Yeah,
same,
Bug
same
Snack.
thing. Okay, same.
It was
Same.
pretty
Your
much like
Bug
every
Snacks.
animal in the world or whatever is like a fruit or some type of food that your character can eat. I'm not entirely sure, to be completely
Well,
honest.
that could get weird.
Yeah, it could get very weird. So Demon Souls is coming out on November 12th. Tons of people excited for this one. It's a PS5 exclusive. So it's if you're not familiar with it, it's the game that kicked off Soulsborne. So yeah, that's being remade for the PS5. So yeah. And then we got Spider-Man Miles Morales, which personally I'm extremely excited for, but I don't believe that I'm going to be getting a PS5 right away, so I'll just be playing it on my PS4 Pro because it's also coming out on the PS4 Pro on November 12th. As a huge Spider-Man nerd, which I mean, if you could actually see this painting down here, well, it's actually a pastel drawing. It is of Spider-Man, of course. Godfall is coming out November 12th, another PS5 exclusive.
Dude, how
well,
many
PS5
games?
and
Oh,
PC.
I guess with the consoles coming out on the 12th, I'm like, how many games are coming out on the
Mhm.
12th? Jeez.
There's a lot of them that are coming out, and they're all
Yeah,
because
a
of
lot,
the
a lot.
initial launch, unfortunately. So for obviously Call of Duty Black Ops, we covered it a little bit. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, because we have to add the CW to it, is coming out November 13th, and that's going to be available on all of the platforms on November 9th or 13th. I almost said 19th. If you are a Switch person and you very much enjoyed The Legend of Zelda and all that good stuff, the Hyrule Warriors is coming out. Age of Calamity is coming out on November 20th, which is set 100 years. Is that what we said earlier, Skrew? Think it comes
Hyrule
100
Calamity, yeah, it
years
was like 100 years
before Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it said.
So I'm excited for that because that's gonna like really kind of like hopefully kind of bring the story together a little bit.
Right, add more layers for sure.
Yeah. So that is pretty much. Oh, looks like Godfall, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and more brand new games will be featured in the buy two get one free sale that kicks off this weekend.
Bruh.
Apparently.
wallet.
Target. So if you guys I don't know exactly what day this is going out, but if it goes out before the weekend or on the weekend or whatever, and you guys get a chance, make sure to go and hit up Target. Not sponsored. No ad, I
Right.
swear.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today.
Word
I
up.
feel like
Yeah, that felt pretty
we
good.
covered a lot of information for sure.
Yeah,
We did.
We need
We
to
did.
wrap, dog. We're sitting at an hour and 35 minutes.
Hour and
Wow, that-
35. Wow, holy
We
shit.
need to send a rap money.
Wrap it up,
Listen,
B.
I'm
Wrap it up. All right, Skrew, hit us with the wrap up. It's all
What are we
you.
doing? Wrap it up.
It's all you.
All
Wrap
right,
it up, brother.
Oh, shit. All right, well,
You got
boys,
this.
it's been me, Skrew, the former and ZLB Studios, your favorite members of the Feens stream team. I don't know if we're your favorite. I'm assuming I am, but anyways, we'll catch you next time with the next episode of the podcast. What do we have coming up next? As far as podcasts, do we have any ideas?
I don't
We
know.
have. Yeah, we're not entirely
Alright.
sure about the
Playing by ear.
podcast, but
you might get
pretty
lucky enough to
soon-
see us again. If you're
pretty
lucky.
soon there's a bunch of different content that's coming out on our YouTube channel, whether it's be an Among Us video, there's Among Us video in the making, there's a Tarkov video series in the making.
Among Us, Tarkov, stream highlights, like compilation,
Stream
montage
highlights.
kind of thing.
Podcast.
There's the more podcasts on the grip. All right, there's a lot coming.
So again, all kinds of stuff.
bunch of
guys,
different
all
shit.
kinds of stuff
7
coming
days to die
from the
we're
team.
We're working. All right, there's a bunch of stuff coming. There was a
Nice.
little dull moment, but we're back. I apologize. There were some things we needed to get a grip on, and we did it. So guess what?
I don't
Now
like
we
how
have the
you
grip.
did that.
Right, that was
You know
it was a
what I'm
little weird. We're
A little
fun. Yeah,
weird.
no need, whatever. You do your thing, bro.
It
You
was
do your
cringy.
thing.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, so sponsors, Eternal Customs, hats, Z's hat, my shirt, check it out, flag. We now have coronavirus masks with the gator on them. All right, trust you guys.
Is that
want
facts?
those.
That we gotta get
That's
them.
facts,
Big
yes.
facts.
Also, we extended them a little bit because we didn't really talk about it that much. There is breast cancer awareness merch on there. I believe still all of the proceeds go to breast cancer
Yes.
awareness. If not, a certain percentage does at least.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
100%.
Yep, 100% because
100% of it-
Eternal Customs told me so on Twitter.
Yeah, they told me so on Discord. Yeah, so you're right.
Oh,
All right, so 100% goes to breast cancer awareness research and everything breast cancer related. I'm not sure where it's gonna go yet. I believe it said it on the Twitter post. I don't remember what the organization was. But yes, I love you guys.
also make sure to get your Rogue Energy.
Rogue Energy.
Use code Feens at discount.
They're
for a
announcing,
discount.
They announced a new flavor today.
Oh, they did.
They
They
were
got
supposed
green
to.
apple that just came out not too long ago. They
Yeah.
got dragon fruit mango, which is also a slapper.
Yeah.
I literally just ordered my personal favorite, which is the blue raspberry. That is my personal
Nice.
favorite. I cannot make it without the blue raspberry. And then we got Former with the new.
And tonight at
flavor.
midnight they drop a night shaker. Shit looks dope. It is dark blue.
The night
yellow.
shaker.
It's dope. It's dope. Okay, look, that's
That
at
sounds
midnight.
dope.
It's dropping.
Oh.
Yeah.
Get your night shaker.
All right, look, Cinch Gaming custom controllers. Why would you use a Scuff when you
You'll
can
know
use
it.
a Cinch? It's the same.
Don't
damn
look at
thing for
me.
half the price.
I got mine before
Quality.
we were sponsored by Cinch. So
Amen, sister. All right, I love you guys. All right,
wrap it
girls,
up.
anybody
Let's
watching
go.
this, we need to get
Bye-bye.
the hell out of here, okay? Mwah, kisses,
Later, guys.
kisses, ta ta.